Well, that was absolutely dreadful. Arsenal lose their first home game of the season, 2-0 to West Ham. And boy, it's a game that has left a lot more questions than it has answered, in my opinion. And the main question it has asked is, are we actually capable of winning this Premier League title? And for me, it's also answered that question. And I'm going to go into it now and explain why I think it's told us everything we need to know. So, the game starts, we start relatively alright. Created a decent chance early on through Odegaard and Saka. And Saka basically just passes it back to the keeper's arms. They end up going down the other end in the 13th minute and scoring a really sloppy and scrappy goal. I don't really know what happened. They put in a nothing ball into the box, really, and somehow we don't clear it. The ball probably goes out of play, but hey, they don't have the technology to tell. So Bowen kicks it back across, they tap it in, and they end up giving the goal. Look, on the VAR thing, I'm not blaming VAR for this loss or anything like that. I just don't understand why they don't have the technology to determine whether that ball is in or out of play. From the angle we've all seen, it looks like the ball's out. They've got goal line tech. That line is the same as the goal line. Why can they not just put the same thing there to know if the ball's gone over or not? Or just like a bird's eye view camera. I don't really get it, but look, it happened. It's happened to us twice now. But anyway, both times a goal have been given. It's not like Arsenal didn't have plenty of time to respond and create enough chances to respond. They then end up scoring in the second half for a set piece that I did speak about in my pre-match video, that they are dangerous from there. Look, as much as it's always really annoying to concede a corner, and it really does frustrate me, they have got the best in the business putting the ball in, and it was, to be fair, an unbelievably good header. So, that can happen no matter how good you are defending from corners. And then after that, we were just never getting back into it. As soon as they scored that second, it was game over, and I think everyone knew that. But in saying that, we still had chances to win the game. And now you look at it, I've got some stats here. It's 1 win in our last 4 games. 81 shots we've had in them games, and we've only scored 3 goals. There's something majorly wrong with the front three, and that's what I'm going to speak about now. So, the front three, in my opinion, at this present moment in time, are letting the rest of the team down, because we are creating chances. If you have 81 shots, you should be scoring more than 3 goals, and it's just the same old stuff at the minute. We don't have the depth to change it, really. It's quite clear that he doesn't really trust Reece Nelson. He either doesn't trust Smith Rowe. I don't think he don't trust Smith Rowe as a player. I think he just doesn't trust Smith Rowe's fitness anymore, which is why he's not getting into the team as much. But when the form of these 3 drop, which it has done at the moment, we don't have the depth to change it, rest a couple of players and just impact a game from a bench. Unlike Liverpool and City, you have 5 or 6 options each to pick from. Like, you look at City, City have got obviously Haaland, probably Foden and Doku are their best front 3. Them 3 are injured or they can't play. They've got Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Alvarez to pick from. Liverpool's best front 3 is probably Salah, Nunez and Diaz. They're not playing well. They got Jota, Gakpo to switch it for. Maybe even, mainly them. So they've got 5 solid options. Who have we got? We've got Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, who on paper sound great, but on form at the minute aren't playing well. And then after that, who are you bringing on? Trossard, okay, yeah, he has his moments, but when Trossard starts games, he doesn't play well. Even yesterday, he didn't really play well. I know he was playing in a different position, but he doesn't tend to play very well. Then you've got the likes of Nelson. Nelson shouldn't be at Arsenal anymore, in my opinion. He's not good enough to make it at Arsenal. And actually, to be fair, I don't know if he is, because he doesn't get the chance to play. So maybe he is, but I don't know. But quite clearly, Arteta doesn't trust him, so he don't play him. Nketiah, he's our joint top goal scorer in the league this season. Still not good enough, and we all know that. We've seen it enough. Very limited player. Yes, he's improved since in the last few years, but again, he's too similar to Jesus anyway. We need something different. And who else we got wrong? What's Smith Rowe, who hasn't stayed fit in God knows how long, and hasn't played a run in games in the last 2 seasons. We've seen that he's best. He can be a decent player, but will he ever be at his best skin? I don't know. So Our options in depth is really bad, and we badly need reinforcements in that front three. It won't happen in Jan. I don't see us signing a striker or a winger in Jan. And it probably will be something that's addressed in the summer. But by then, it's too late. It's another season wasted. But yeah, let's talk about the current front three, because, boy, their form is worrying, isn't it? Like I said, in my opinion, they're currently letting down the rest of the team, because Odegaard, his last few games, has got somewhat back to his best. He's creating chance after chance, and he's trying his absolute hardest to drag teams through the game, but they're not finishing chances. In the last few games, Odegaard should probably have about 4 or 5 assists. He only has 1, which come from a set piece. So let's quickly look at their stats. Last season, after 19 games, compared to now after 19 games, Saka last season had 6 goals, 6 assists. This season, he's got 5 goals, 6 assists. Okay, so he's pretty much the same, just one goal off. And he's given up a couple of pens, so maybe he could actually be better in theory. But he has missed some massive chances. But the other two is where it's really, really concerning. So Jesus last season had 5 goals, 6 assists. This season, he's got 3 goals and 1 assist. Martinelli last season, 7 goals, 2 assists. This season, 2 goals, 2 assists. That ain't good enough. And last night, Jesus missed another sitter, 65th minute. Ball comes in, great bit of play from Odegaard to put him White down the channel. He puts in perfect cross. Jesus misses a header at the back stick. That I promise you now, if I was playing, I would have scored that. There's strikers on my Sunday team, I know for a fact would have scored that. You know, it's actually unforgivable to miss that. And that would have got us right back in the game with about half hour left. And he misses it. He does it too often. He's even come out and said, "Oh, goals ain't my strong point." Fucking yeah, you don't need to tell us, mate. Trust me, we know. We know. And he is great at everything else. He's like a Firmino type striker. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and Jamie Carragher said when Liverpool won the title, I didn't know this, but Firmino didn't score a single goal at Anfield. But the difference is, he had 2 unbelievable wingers who were putting up probably 15 plus. I think they probably both scored 20. We haven't got that right now. Martinelli and Saka, I do believe, both have the potential to score that kind of level of numbers. But for whatever reason right now, it's not happening. And I don't really know what the answer is. Is it a case of we've just been sussed out, which I do think has some sort of part to play in it? You know, teams know our biggest threat are Saka and Martinelli out wide. Saka at times has 4 players around him. Martinelli at times has 3 or 4 players around him. But you've got to find a way through it. And, you know, and again, as much as I say, have we been sus? Yeah, we might have to an extent, but we have chances. Saka had about 3-4 shots on target yesterday, and he's at the post as well. He should have scored. Martinelli had a sitter, again, that he ain't even hit on the target with. Not a sitter as such, but one he should definitely be hitting target with. Ball comes into the box, he takes a touch. All he has to do is hit the target. He's missed it. Exactly pretty much the same chance he had against Liverpool, only the game before. So, is it a case we've been sussed? Yeah, maybe slightly. Or is it just a case of poor form? And, you know, we've got to remember that these two are only 22. You know, a bad run of form probably was due to come at some point. Because since they've been at Arsenal, since they've come through, they've not really had a poor form at any point. They've just pretty much gone up and up and up a level. So maybe it is a case of just poor form and struggling to suss out the way, you know, teams are playing against them. I can forgive that to an extent, because they are only young players, and I do think that once they come through this little bit of a dip, that they will go on to be 2 of the best wingers in the league again. But it is so frustrating because, you know, now you look at it, it was a chance to go back top of the table, and we missed it. City are 3 points behind us with a game in hand, so assuming that they win that, they're essentially level on points. Okay, so we're going into the second half of the season level with a City team who haven't played all that well, who are going to get De Bruyne back. City have only won 2 out of their last 7, and they're level on points with us. That's big, and that's why I believe we can't win the title this season, because going into the second half of the season where City usually kick in and go on a run of 10 plus games winning, in my opinion, City are going to run away with the title second half of the season, away from us and Liverpool, who are currently sitting 2 points ahead of us. And I think we've missed a major opportunity, because with the way City were dipping, we had to try and get as far ahead as possible, and then maybe we could have won it. But now I've got major doubts because we're simply just not scoring enough goals. And this is, it comes back onto Arteta. I saw a lot of people questioning Arteta. Is he good enough? Why has the team gotten worse this season? And as much as I think the questions are justified, and I'm sort of one of them, I'm sort of in the camp of if he doesn't win anything this season, is there serious questions that need to be asked? Because he's had a lot of time, he spent a lot of money, but he's wasted a lot of money. And the team have got worse this season. You just have to watch it, but also the stats back it up. Just going into them. So last season, after 19 Premier League games, we had 50 points, scored 45 goals and conceded 16. This season, after 19 games, we've got 40 points, so 10 less, scored 36, so 9 less than we scored last season, and we conceded 18. So we've conceded more goals than we have last season. So defensively, we're not even better. When people were saying, oh, we're better now with Rice and the 2 centre-backs. And I agree, to be fair, like their form, when you watch it, we actually do look better, but we still conceded more goals. So what the hell is going on? Like, I don't really, and to be honest, I don't actually know. I don't actually know what's going on, apart from the obvious, we're not scoring goals. Realistically, you look at the last 4 games, Brighton could have been about a 4-5, 6-0. We only end up winning it 2-0. Villa, we lost 1-0. We should have won that game 3 or 4-1. Easy. Liverpool, okay, 1-1 at Anfield. Look, I'll take that all day, but there was openings we had where we could have done better and should have scored goals. It's like if we had an out-and-out striker, I believe we probably ended up beating. We would have ended up winning that game at Anfield. What else? Last night, about three or four big chances missed, but not even just that. We get into options where people say, oh, yeah, but we didn't really create a chance there. It's because we're picking the wrong pass. We get into good areas, and then we're picking the wrong pass, or we're not shooting earlier. We're taking too long. And why? One question I have over Arteta. But, well, no, there's 2 questions. One, why has he not bought an out-and-out proper goal scorer? There's been money there that he's wasted, and now we're a bit, struggling with financial fair play. But he spent 35 million on Vieira, and I'm sorry, that's not a 35 million pound player at all. That should have been used elsewhere. Kai Havertz, 65 million. Hey, we actually missed Kai Havertz yesterday badly. We needed someone with that physical presence getting into the back stick. And as much as I hated the signing and I wasn't a fan of him at Chelsea, weirdly there's something I like about Havertz. But still, that 65 million could have been better spent. No doubt. Raya, hey, again, played well yesterday. He had no chance with the goals. He was coming out and, sweeping up well. Saved the penalty. Didn't even mention that. Really and truly, they should have won 3-0. Saved the penalty. He done all right. But that was not a position that needed fixing. That did not need 30 million spent on it. No way. I know technically we haven't kind of spent it yet, but we've committed to it. So yeah, them 3 are the 3 that mainly stick out to me. Kivior, 20 million on him. Zinchenko is in the worst form he's played for Arsenal. Again, he was shocking yesterday. And yet Kivior still can't get a game. Again, I think that was kind of money wasted. And Lokonga, Tavares, there's a few you look at and think, bloody hell, why did you not use this money in better places? But the main thing I look at with Arteta is I think, why does he not change things in game? We've got a front 3 that could easily all interchange and play in different positions across that line. But they never do. All right, sometimes Jesus will drift wide and Martinelli will come to the centre, but that's it. Why not do something different? Why not switch Martinelli and Saka over? Go different, just go down the line and cross it. Instead of the same old pattern of play. We get it out to Saka, he goes to White, he goes to Odegaard when we try and play that triangle. But they've got 4 or 5 players around them. Surely there's space somewhere else. Switch it out quickly. We move the ball too slow. There was times yesterday I saw like Ben White was standing on the ball for about 10 seconds before he just passed it backwards to Saliba. He'd go to Gabriel, we'd go back out. And it's just too slow. And we're not moving quick enough. We're not moving free enough. Like even like Odegaard, he plays in like the right 8, right? Why can't he go over to the left at one point and start linking up with the players over there and giving them more of an option? Why can't Trossard go up top and Jesus drop back for a second? Just switch it up a bit. We're too stale in the way we're playing, and teams have half sussed us. You've got to find a way around it. You really have. So, like I said, in my opinion, that's the title gone, and simply because we're now 19 games in, second half of the season, 2 behind Liverpool and essentially level on points with City, assuming that they win their game in hand. I do not believe for a second half of the season, when City kick in, we can keep up with them. I really don't, let alone beat them, because we're going to have to beat them. I don't see that happening. I think we can finish above Liverpool, because I'm not 100% sure who's actually a better team out of us two yet. One difference they have is that they have a much better manager and they have a few world-class players, but I'm not too sure who's actually the better team. But there's no way we're going to outdo City second half of the season, and I would love to be wrong. There's maybe, look, I believe this team can beat everyone in the league on their day, but we're not scoring enough goals to win games, and there's going to be more games this season where a team will sit back and just hit us on the counter or from a set piece. Are we going to, one, keep a clean sheet in them games, because we don't tend to do that, and make sure that one goal would be enough, or are we just going to keep conceding and not scoring goals? Unless in January we somehow bring in like a Tony or like an Osimhen, which is not going to happen, by the way. I just don't see us being capable to win the league this season. But we have to win something. And honestly, people might laugh at this. I think we've got a lot more chance winning the Champions League than we have with the Premier League. Because, people will say you can't even beat West Ham. How are you going to beat the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern? One, we might not draw them teams. But two, them sort of teams aren't going to play against us like West Ham did. There will be more space and stuff like that to get clearer shots off and clearer opportunities. But yeah, a really worrying, damning result in my opinion, that I think, okay, mathematically, like I said, we're still in a very good place. And if we can kick on and outdo City second half of the season, great. I'd love it. But I just don't think it's possible. And could very well be another season wasted, but Arteta's got to do something. He's got to change something, got to get some players in and just, try and come up with something, man. That, you can compare it to when Chelsea won the league under Conte. Up until the game they played us when we beat them 3-0 in that season, no one gave them a prayer of winning the league. Conte changed something and then they went on a mad run. Can we go on a run of winning 10, 12, 13 games on a spin? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think we have the firepower to do it unless they all kick into form. But yeah, I would love to be proved wrong. Player ratings, I suppose we've sort of got to do that. Raya, I thought Raya was alright. He couldn't do much more. I'll give him a standard 6, as he saved the pen. Couldn't stop any of the goals. White, to be White, I'm going to make this really quick. I'm going to give everyone in that team, a 4, bar Martin Odegaard, who I thought was actually really good. He couldn't really have done much more. And then some people criticising him, saying, I think he tried too hard. Can you blame him? He was the only one creating. He was the only one getting shots off, forcing keeper into saves. I would have, he probably thought, I've got to do this on my own. I thought he played really well. So I'll give Odegaard a 7. I don't think he could have done much more. But yeah, just overall poor performance. Yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments, what do you think? Can we still win this league? I'm not convinced. Can we win anything this season? Or is it going to be another wasted season? If so, is there questions over Arteta? Look, I don't think Arteta could have done much more yesterday. Villa, Brighton, I know we won Brighton, but we should have scored more, etc. But there's been games I think he's actually coached really well, and the players are letting him down. But is that also on him? Because he's not brought in the right players, so I don't know. But yeah, please do like, comment, subscribe and share. Like I said, just, yeah. I don't really know what to say. I'm so pissed off from last night. But yeah, talk to you tomorrow probably for the Fulham preview, which is now a flipping huge game, an absolute must win. But yeah, talk to you soon. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.